Hey, it's Scorp Woodhull, and welcome back to Through the Belts Part 2. I'd like to introduce you to some newer and some older members of Lockpickers United, users through our lockpicking, picking their way through the belts. Just want to emphasize that it doesn't matter what sort of equipment you have, whether it's the best or worst lighting, camera equipment, doesn't matter. As long as you're having fun getting through the belts, that's all that matters. We do have a little something special planned, so stay tuned afterwards, and let's get to our first picker, coming in as a white belt. And oddly enough, I think he's a bit more than that. If you look at the background in his video, you might be a little perplexed. So anyway, he asked me what he should pick. I said, well, we haven't had a master lock number 1, and this is sort of the lock we all think about whenever we think white belt, right? This is Neff. He is 34, from Indiana, United States. He runs his own business doing 3D printing and laser engraving. He likes to cross over his hobbies into his business and has already started laser cutting his own picks, which is really cool. He loves trying new hobbies and currently takes part in competitive shooting competitions, also known as USPSA. I hope I got that right, on top of Locksport. He's married to a beautiful wife. He has 2 cats, 2 dogs. Nevis found a passion for lock sport and hopes to continue tackling locks as high on the belt ranking list as he can as a personal challenge. And I really think Neff does a great job at essentially explaining what our belt ranking system is about. So without further ado, here's Neff.
Hi guys, Neff here, and today we're looking at a Master Lock number 3. This is part of a series done by Lockpickers United that's going to highlight locks of all difficulty levels. The Lockpickers United group is a group full of great people, and if you're interested in this hobby at all, I would highly recommend seeking them out on their Reddit or their Discord, because they will be happy to help you out. In that subsection of the community, locks are categorized according to by difficulty level according to a belt system, kind of like karate, white belt to black belt. And I'm told that this Master Lock number 3 is the quintessential white belt lock. So we'll see how this goes today. I've picked locks of all difficulty levels, but I haven't been doing it for that long, only about 8 weeks. And sometimes locks still give me trouble at every spectrum, so let's see how this goes. We'll get her open and get her picked. Master Lock padlocks, interestingly enough, are pretty standard for starting out in the hobby, but they have always given me some trouble. I have problems with my tension control, so... Alright, here's our bitting on the key. Not too bad, but it does have a really low cut up front, so you gotta watch out for oversetting that. Works beautifully. And today, I'm gonna use the tools that I had when I first started picking. I'm not gonna use anything I've bought recently or any of the picks that I've made. So these hooks come from sets that you can find all over eBay and Amazon. Pretty standard stuff, pretty cheap stuff. And then the tensioner I'm using there is from a windshield wiper insert that I bought, cut, and clipped. So just feeling around in there. Yeah, that one is tight, but I'm just trying to see if it takes a little hit. I'm going to try it from the back here. There's a good click on 4. Little click on 3. Alright, let's reset this bad boy again. And I listen for what drops. It sounds like I had 2 that was set pretty good. I'm going to ease up on the tension a little bit. I'm not getting a ton of feedback. So I'm just kind of feeling for a binder. Alright, I think we got a good click on 4. That was a click from me pulsing tension there to get a good feel on it. 2 I think is set. And there we go. I had already set 4. Master lock is open. That was actually slightly more difficult than I expected, and the reason why, sorry I just hit the camera, is if you look at that pin 1, it barely needs hit, but then pin 2 right behind it needs to go quite high. I really thought that was going to give me trouble for a lot longer than that. I appreciate you guys watching this video today, and I hope you enjoy the rest of the Through the Belt series with Lock Pickers United. Master Lock number 3. You guys have a great day.
Miss Galaxy Unicorn works as a user researcher. She lives with a very patient partner. Miss Galaxy Unicorn started picking 2 months ago when she got her first lockpicking kit for Christmas. On her spare time, apart from her new lock sport hobby, she enjoys reading, building Legos, playing games, and when we're not in lockdown, she likes going to gigs. Nice open.
Cognate is 64 Ti here. 5 standard pins. I use pretty heavy tension on this lock. You can feel the binding pins a little bit better.
This is Scorp. He is a high school student in the United States and wants to become an engineer. He's been picking for about 2 years.
That's open.
I'm probably gonna mess this up, but this is Ghost. He's a 30-year-old letter carrier for the United States Postal Service from New York, and he is picking the Master Lock Loto 410, and this is pretty rare. He's going to gut it for us as well, so check him out. This talented young lock sporter is ZM78. It just said ZM79, so maybe you're a bit confused. ZM78 can be found on Discord, maybe ZM79 is his YouTube channel. But he's 14 years old, from Australia. He's currently homeschooled and is working in a family business as a web developer, so that's interesting. What's more interesting is to see the youth get into our hobby. Lockpickers United has its rules, and we're very strict about those rules, especially Rule 2. If you don't know what it is, look it up. I feel LPU makes a huge difference in lock sport, especially with the mentorship and guidance the LPU community provides to our young lock sporters. And we should be getting an open. Very nice. Next up we have Annie Blue, and she is going to pick the Medico biaxial for us. And these locks can really suck. So, but what makes it really interesting watching this is seeing us move from that the blue belt to the purple belt, and that's really a pretty big leap whenever you're moving into something with multiple locking deterrents, multiple locking mechanisms, such as sidebars with tiny sidebar springs. So let's introduce Annie Blue. She's a middle school and high school English teacher in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. Her age is a secret, but she says she's been hinting at being 22 years old for the last 9 years. She's single and not looking. She has no kids because her students are more than enough. Annie picks locks to feel free and joined Lockpickers United in December while stuck in her room with COVID. She likes to engrave her lock picks with poetry and puns and make jewelry out of picks and skeleton keys. That's pretty cool. Annie's quite the character. She's very funny. I'll let her take it from here.
Hey nerds, it's Annie, don't touch me Blue, and today I want to show you my method for picking a Medico biaxial. It's actually really easy when you know what you're doing. All you have to do is start by raking the pins to make sure they're all nice and scrambled, and then you throw it in the damn tray. But in all seriousness, this has been a very emotional pick for me. For those who don't know, the Medico biaxial is made with a lot of very frustrating anti-picking features because they hate us. They hate lockpickers, and they hate me. So all that being said, I'm really eager for the day I never have to look at this awful, awful lock again. So let's pick it. This has taken me anywhere from 4 minutes to 40 minutes to get right, and I've gone sometimes entire days without any progress whatsoever, starting by raking, and it will all come unrotated as soon as I start actually picking it. I'm not sure why I really do this part at all. It makes me feel good, and so I'm going to frustratedly jiggle it for a minute and see if that does anything. Not quite. Keep trying. And looks like we're where I need to be. I'm going to start with top of the keyway tension because I don't need a reason. Seems to be going well. That felt really nice. Made me feel good about myself. Validated me. I think the back might actually be set already, or I'm just really wishfully thinking because I'm on camera and I'm nervous about it. This part's going to take a while. Don't rush me. Good clicks. Good clicks. Thank you. You. Absolutely. Oh. Oh. Okay. This is the part that usually takes me the longest. And by usually, I mean I've done it exactly twice before in my life. Oh. Ta-da! Speaking of things that I haven't done a lot, I have no idea how to gut one of these. Sidebar springs are a thing that exist. And we're going in with that knowledge. And then I am going to take the pins out the top so that I don't dunk anything up too terribly when I start messing around with the parts that I don't understand. So, we've got a handy little clippy guy here. We're just going to get him out. Got the spring and the driver. And another mushroom. Where's... Hey, come out. Come out, please. Thank you. So, that's all of the pins. Look at those beautiful pins and their beautiful blurriness. I don't know how to make this camera focus, but they exist, I promise. If you squint really hard, you can see that those are definitely mushrooms. So this is the part that I'm not excited for. Looks like we've got a little clippy guy with screws in the back. So it stands to reason that I probably want to unscrew those. That seems like a logical choice. That everything is okay. Here's a sidebar. And here it is. It's a sidebar. It's a bar in the side. That's why they call it that, I bet. Oh my god, those are the springs. They're adorable. Oh, look how tiny. You observe how tiny these are. And I guess we're done.
Next up, we have Notto in the brown belt spot. He is going to pick the multi-lock interactive with serrated pins, and those can be quite difficult, especially with those pinning pins. If you don't know what I'm talking about, you'll see here in just a second. So a little bit about Notto. Notto is 21 years old from Niagara Falls, Ontario, Canada. He's a full-time project coordinator for a large, heavy civil construction company that deals with building large-scale highway bridges for the government. No pressure there. Notto enjoys his fish tanks as well as speeding around in his car, safely I hope, and he was recently featured on our very own LPU channel here, showing off his amazing talent making challenge locks. He's probably one of Lock Pickers United most gifted challenge lock makers. He did not make me say that at all. Here he is.
Hey guys, Notto here again. And today I'm going to be trying to open up this multi-lock interactive. There's the bidding. Let's see if it plays nice. One set, two, nothing. Three, one click. Four, nothing. Five, nothing. Back. Two, nothing. Three, one click. Two had a couple clicks there. Click out of four. Another click. That interactive element needs to go up. I'm getting some movement on the core. I don't know what is holding it, but feels like three might be responsible. Okay, so I'm into deep falls now. I'm gonna grab my deep flag here and see if we can finish it off. So it's got to be stuck on one of the inner pins. And it was number two. So there we go. Get these guys out of the way. So now I can turn. I hold it. Take the shackle out. Turn it up. Take the guard off. That comes right off. Such. Now I'm going to remove one thing. We're going to slide this. There's the actuator. See the core. The Bible is free floating. So I'm going to take this out here. Like that. Now watch. As soon as I start to, I don't know if you can get a clear view of this, but you should be able to see all the pins. I'm just going to dump out all that stuff. Keep the core right there. And they are just all serrated on the top here, which is, honestly feels like an 1100, American 1100. So, chamber 1. Oh, looks like chamber 3's fingerprint, or chamber 5's came off too there. And 5. Now we'll just do a nice close up of all the pins. Thanks for watching.
This is Reinder, or Rain. He's from the Netherlands and is currently going to school for a high-level mathematics degree. He started picking about 2 years ago, but quickly got bored due to lack of challenging locks. Then COVID happened. He found himself ordering more locks, then got back into lock sport. So he's claimed to really been only picking for about 8 months, and was just one lock away from getting his black belt at the time of making this video. And you might notice that he's picking the WSW10 there, which is also a black belt lock. I did this to emphasize that you can pick higher belt ranked locks to acquire a belt rank below that if you don't meet the criteria of the higher level rank. So at this point he's 5 out of 6 black belt locks, and that was just a week ago or so, and since then he's got 6 out of 6 black belt locks picked, and yep, congratulations.
It's just a regular old paperclip. See?
And yeah, he just picked the WSW with a paperclip.
Boom. Open. Also, a shout out to the folks at LPU who helped me power through this lock this fast. Wouldn't have been able to do it without y'all.
And in our black belt spot, we have HV Metalhead. He discovered lock sport while researching non-destructive entry techniques for his fire department. He started tinkering around with the lock sport hobby and earned his black belt in January of 2021. He's a proud member of the #1million Scoville Lock Sport Club, where he learned of speedlocks.org. He was the first person to join that Discord when it was created, and has been helping build the community since. There, he's a moderator and a community liaison between members and the admin. When he's not picking, he likes to do woodwork and fishing with his children, as well as volunteering with his local fire department. Stay safe. He says that living in Canada, the lock sport community is definitely smaller, but he enjoys that Reddit and Discord allows him to interact with people all around the world. He can be found on Discord, on Reddit, and on YouTube. I'll have those links below. And he is currently picking, I believe, the Asa V Twin. Check him out. Alright, thank you HV Metalhead for filling in our black belt spot for Through the Belts. Oh, that was a B10, by the way. So that's it for our second round of Through the Belts. We do have one more thing here, and that's this bad boy. This happens to be a 1985 Ingersoll Sergeant and Greenleaf padlock. This was retired from the United States Navy, actually. So hopefully I'll have this keyed up and ready to go for that giveaway, and that's just for free on my part. I hope you enjoyed Lockpickers United Through the Belts. We'll see you next time.